competed.
It certainly has. I think they've kind of worked into their game. It always feels good to have rhythm in terms of playing a game earlier in the day.
So Claire Coppola and Kelly Green Agnew will be facing Leah Monkhouse and Devin Newberry. They won their match against Cal Poly earlier today. It's a rather new pair. They hadn't played together in the fall or the first part of the season, but what do you think about their game right now?
I really like their game. I think Devin Newberry is playing phenomenally at the net, but she's dropping off digging balls, and she's just got a heavy arm. So in transition, they really complement each other.
These two were not together when UCLA played LSU, so it will be their first shot at the Tigers as a pair, facing Claire Coppola and Kelly Green Agnew. Green Agnew on the serve for LSU, and it is a service error.
The wind completely different than yesterday. In terms of switching sides right now, LSU on the better side. You can see the direction the flag is blowing. That's the wind in their face.
And those factors are something that these teams are probably watching when we just saw that LMU-USC matchup. You're watching to see how the elements are affecting their game.
Definitely. UCLA was actually out here earlier with clipboards scouting their opponent. So Steinmetzger loves the details, and he pays attention, and he wants to teach that to his players. So they were taking notes on who they would play and what they like to do.
I was going to say, that sounds very much like a Steinmetzger team.
He loves the details.
Claire Coppola back to serve. She has spent most of her career partnered with Kristen Nuss at the ones for LSU, but a different duo this year for Coppola. Devin Newberry.
Leah Monkhouse so good at that first contact, and that allows Devin Newberry to get involved in the offense with the over on 2 to the corner.
Playing to 21 in the first 2 sets, you have to win by 2.
And no one right.
Good up from Green Agnew.
Fantastic defense. Green Agnew running all over the place, keeping balls alive. Now LSU needs to turn that into a point.
So it'll still be Devin Newberry's serve. A redshirt freshman, played with Megan Murray last year in the shortened season.
Kelly Green Agnew, that time going cross court. I'd love to see Claire Coppola use her legs a little bit more on the set. That time she was off balance.
What's been challenging this group of Coppola and Green Agnew here in Gulf Shores?
Well, on paper, they're a fantastic team. You've got a dynamic defender, a dominant blocker, but a slow start for LSU on the good side. UCLA going up 5-2. So on paper, they're amazing, but I don't know if it's chemistry or energy or what it is that's challenging this pair.
Yeah, they've been challenged since that conference tournament. They went 1-4 in the conference tournament. The focus since then has been on communication and making sure they're both on the same page on the sand. Newberry goes at Green Agnew. To the back corner. Kelly Green Agnew can be a dangerous player.
Really nice deep corner hit, using the whole court. Good run through back set by Claire Coppola, and then the deep corner swing for LSU.
Just touched by Coppola. And then the sharp angle from Newberry.
Devin Newberry and Leah Monkhouse communicate every play. Steinmetzger really encourages that. And then look at Devin Newberry just stepping up. She wanted to put that ball away.
Well, it's a luxury for UCLA at this pair because they have Leah Monkhouse on the sand, and Steinmetzger calls her their 4th coach. She's so knowledgeable. Oh, and the extra effort sends LSU on a scramble.
In that kind of effort to keep it alive, and then the location of where that bump went, really impressive play by UCLA. And those are the little things that are the difference, like the LSU pair not taking care of that opportunity.
So they will take a timeout. Let's check in on the fours. These are the only two pairs in action right now. Megan Murray, Jacqueline Quaid facing Jess Landsman and Sydney Moore of LSU. Murray is long point LSU.
LSU on the good side. That allows them to be aggressive from the service line. Landsman at the net at 6'2" is huge. She takes up a big area at the net, puts a lot of pressure on the offensive attacker for UCLA.
Quick shot by Jacqueline Quaid. Had an amazing indoor career at Illinois. She was a 6th rotation outside hitter, so came in with the passing skills. Made a trip to the national semifinals with Illinois on the indoor side. Service error.
Steinmetzger has really given his players the green light to be more aggressive from the service line. He said, look, we got to step up our serve, and you're allowed 2 mulligans a game. A mulligan in his vocabulary means missed serves, but they've got to be aggressive ones. He really wants to encourage service pressure for this Bruin team.
Yeah, so much so that in a timeout, he will point out, hey, you guys only have 1 service error in this set, so
let's pick it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cuts it too wide.
But you have to credit the size of Jess Landsman at the net for LSU, putting pressure on Megan Murray to hit that perfect shot, and she hits it wide.
Look, we mentioned that LSU beat UCLA last season. Well, it was Jess Landsman and Sydney Moore that clinched the match against the Bruins in 2020.
That time, perfectly placed ball by Meg Murray. And this pair, who's now at the 4s for LSU, played so great last year. They were actually at the 2 spot for LSU.
Played together the last 2 seasons. They have that great chemistry, a unique pair, as Russell Brock told us, but they fit.
You've got a speedy defender and a huge dominant blocker, and if they can control the ball, look at Jess Landsman using her size at the net, cranking it hard court.
Jess Landsman, 4 seasons of indoor at Iowa State before coming to LSU, and she is back. And they are glad as she gets a block at the net.
That's a ball that Meg Murray could usually sneak by a blocker, a little cut back to the line, but Jess Landsman says no thank you and just closes the door.
Megan Murray with a smart shot. That's a little surgeon, if you will.
Very precise attack to the corner, and that's something that Steinmetzger likes to talk about with Megan Murray. She's textbook in terms of the way she competes, and she's a surgeon with the ball, just dissecting the court.
That's got to make it really hard if you're a defender to try to figure her out.
UCLA going at the bigger hitter for LSU, which I find interesting. I know they're probably trying to serve into the wind, but why not try the smaller player in Moore?
It makes the smaller player have to attack if you serve at them. Off the hands of Landsman, point UCLA.
That time Megan Murray going high off the hands of the block, not trying to sneak any past her. She tried that.
Technical timeout at the 4s. We go back to the 2s. Again, these are the only 2 pairs in action right now. Coming up on that time when the 1s, 3s, and 5s will start. Newberry. Oh, net violation on LSU.
Claire Coppola got aggressive at the net. It was tight. Net violation.
Leah Monkhouse serving. Out.
Kelly Green Agnew, right idea, going deep middle, trying to catch that back line, but that wind just carrying it long.
I was really impressed with Coppola and Green Agnew's energy in their last duel against FSU. It was just a little bit different, a little more powerful than we had seen before.
I agree. They came out. They're trying to make things happen. They're trying to work through their challenges. That time, Leah Monkhouse all over that ball. I'd love to see these players overhand dig those hard hit balls at their face instead of trying to pop it up with their hands together.
Not much you can do about that.
Starts with a good first contact by Devin Newberry and Leah Monkhouse. Quick strike to the corner on 2.
Are up on Megan Murray and Jacqueline Quaid here in the first set, and a service error will give another point to LSU.
This is a very experienced pair for LSU. And when they're playing well, things are very smooth. Strong defense at the net and behind.
Megan Murray gets past Jess Landsman at the net. Christine is on this court.
Holly, you mentioned how experienced this LSU pair is. The one thing that I've noticed hanging out over here on the fours is that they really haven't had any errors in this matchup. None of the balls have gone out. They've been taking care of the ball, putting the shots where they need to go, and just cutting down on their errors, making UCLA make the mistakes.
I agree. I think the pressure being put on because they're very precise. Look at this beautiful line shot over the big block of Jacqueline Quaid by Sydney Moore.
Sydney Moore, one of those fearless players. Russell Brock told us that's her biggest asset. She can be the intimidator, even though she's the 5'6" smaller player out there.
See the communication right there. Megan Murray drops a little cut shot. Still, LSU up by 4.
Quaid with the bump set to Murray. Sydney Moore, Sydney Moore!
So aggressive hard court swing from the bad side. Hard cross court, excuse me. Megan Murray stepped middle, and that leaves that sharp angle open. Timeout UCLA.
Everybody in action right now. The 1s, 3s, and 5s have joined the party in this elimination duel. And let's go check back in on the 2s as they're creeping up closer. Monkhouse and Newberry up 16-12 on Coppola and Kelly Green Agnew. Newberry on the serve.
Kelly Green Agnew getting on top of that ball quickly. Little tempo set, not very high. Allows her to attack it quickly.
Leah Monkhouse off of the fingers of Claire Coppola at the net.
When you've got a big blocker like Claire Coppola, it's good to use the hands high and not try and sneak balls by her because she's a big defensive block for LSU.
Devin Newberry gets a touch on that one. And there's the energy we saw in the first duel from LSU today.
And I like it. Claire Coppola using her size at the net, exclamation point. Beautiful cover play, gets herself involved in the offense. And look at this crossbody swing by Claire Coppola.
Green Agnew right down the middle.
Back-to-back points for this LSU pair. Little momentum on their side of the net right now.
Scores on the right side of your screen. LSU up. 2 points away from the set. Jess Landsman, money. It is set point LSU on the right side of your screen at the fours.
And Leah Monkhouse, big side out on the left side of your screen.
So they will switch sides at the 4s. Devin Newberry serving at the 2s for UCLA. Kelly Green Agnew.
LSU has an opportunity to score a point from the service line if they can go aggressive into the win. Right now, this LSU pair scoring real points off their defense.
And LSU will take the opening set at the 4s. Landsman and Moore win it 21-15. LSU bombing that serve.
An ace to go 17 and switch sides. LSU feeling it at the 2s pair spot. Russell Brock excited about it, trying to give his pair some energy and love.
Going to 21, you have to win by 2. Monkhouse diving for it and then on the attack.
Claire Coppola, Kelly Green Agnew look like a different team. They're scoring points with a tough serve and some defense. And I haven't seen Claire Coppola fired up like this ever.
They have been working so hard to get out of this funk, and I love the energy to tie this up in the opening set at 18.
Well, success breeds success, and I feel like they're getting more and more confident scoring those real points off this UCLA pair.
So we will keep an eye at the 2s. LSU has already taken the opening set at the 4s, 21-15. But how about the 1s? This is an interesting matchup between these two because it's been Taryn Cloth and Kristen Nuss who have had the advantage when they've played at UCLA this season.
Well, this LSU pair is undefeated on the season. That's the challenge for this UCLA pair. Savvy Simo and Lexi Denneberg, a physical team who love to play an aggressive style game. And if they play the aggressive style, they have a good chance to knock this LSU pair off.
Right now it's a 1-point first set with Lexi Denneberg serving. Point LSU.
Lexi Denneberg going very aggressive into that win, just missing it wide. But hey, if you're gonna knock off the #1 team in college volleyball, at least #1 pair, you have to go that aggressive.
Yeah, we've seen how composed Kristen Nuss and Taryn Cloth are. They lost the first set in their duel earlier today. Came back no problem, clinched it for their team. Kristen Nuss.
Can we talk about that net play? Wow. Great dig by Kristen Nuss, but we're seeing a lot of offensive and defensive moves at the net. Taryn Cloth just owning the net.
It is getting scrappy up there. 9-6 LSU advantage at the 1s. We will keep you posted, but we're close to finishing the first set at the 2s. A service error will put UCLA ahead by 1.
And the wind always picks up here in the afternoon. You can feel the wind in the face of UCLA. Leah Monkhouse can get a little bit more aggressive from this service line.
How about that much aggression? And it brings up set point UCLA.
And Leah Monkhouse didn't serve that cross court into the wind ball that you would expect from that corner. She just nailed it precisely down that line. That's impressive.
Monkhouse, long.
Love the dialogue between this UCLA pair. That ball just attacked a little bit long, and Claire Coppola will serve from the bad side. UCLA needs to side out to win the set.
Monkhouse coming in aggressive, first set to UCLA.
I've been really impressed by Monkhouse and Newberry, getting more and more consistent as this tournament goes on. Look at Leah Monkhouse get her feet to the ball and sneak that ball under Claire Coppola and inside the defender.
So UCLA takes the first set at the 2s. It was LSU taking the opening set at the 4s, and we have got a battle at the 1s. Simo and Dinneberg against Kloth and Nuss.
Kristen Nuss just wide on that over the block line shot. All tied up.
Lexi Dinneberg steps back. Service error pushes LSU ahead, and we are to the technical timeout at the 1s. Elimination duel here, second semifinal. That duel will be tomorrow. 2 courts have finished up their first set. Let's go to the 3s, where it's Abby Van Winkle, Lindsay Sparks taking on Ashlyn Rasnick-Pope and Tony Rodriguez of LSU.
The serve of Lindsay Sparks for UCLA has been so good lately. She makes great hand contact and puts so much pace that that ball drops in. She's attacking into the wind. I don't know if you heard the setter for LSU, Rasnick-Pope, said, oh gosh. Her set came off the net, which makes it challenging because right now LSU is on the bad side, wind at their back.
What kind of adjustments do you have to make when you're on the bad side, not just serving?
Well, a long touch on the ball, and you don't want to pass too tight to the net or set too tight to the net because it travels towards the net in the big block of UCLA.
Abby Van Winkle with the point to tie it at 12.
Abby Van Winkle, she's long at the net at 6'2", but she moves well, drops off the net, and able to transition that ball for a kill.
For Lindsay Sparks.
There it is again, that aggressive serve into the wind, and Lindsay Sparks putting so much pace on that ball. And how about the location? Down the middle. Really pretty.
It really makes you have to guess is who's going to take it, and then is it long enough? Follows it up with a service error.
I love the chemistry between these two. Van Winkle and Sparks just work so well together. Lindsay Sparks, great first contact. Van Winkle is a fantastic setter. And look at the court vision of Lindsay Sparks going deep cross court into the wind.
Yeah, they're 5-0 on the season now. It's a rather young pair, but they have so much experience together that Stein Metzger says it was like riding a bike when they put them back together.
And their skills really complement each other. If Sparks is getting served, Van Winkle's a great setter. And then you've got the size of Van Winkle at the net and the defensive prowess of Lindsay Sparks behind.
Yeah, Stein Metzger told us that the game against Arizona at Pac-12, he said it was a perfect game for these two. He was in the box, and he said, I just cheered for them. And it's just showing him a couple of stats here and there, but let them do their thing.
That's when it's fun to be a coach. You know you've prepared your team to play their best volleyball.
Cuts it.
You saw that ball blow way far away from Lindsay Sparks. She gets her feet to the ball. She comes into the middle of the court and it blows even further in. She's able to get her feet to the ball and poke it into the wind towards the Gulf side.
Out on the serve.
But remember, Stein Metzger encourages those aggressive serves. So now Lindsay has a bunch of aces and 2 errors.
Tony Rodriguez with a service error.
Both teams, they know that they need to serve tough to get the other out of system.
Rodriguez off of the block and down.
Tony Rodriguez, a very physical player. Felt like Van Winkle was going to block that ball. She was a little late on her press for UCLA.
Rodriguez has to chase it. Good adjustment.
That ball set wide, but Rodriguez gets her feet there. Nice deep poke. That's the win, taking it. Nice heads-up play.
And Tony Rodriguez, a veteran in the LSU program on the indoor side and on the beach side now, played 4 seasons in the indoor game, went through a couple of ACL injuries, but is back healthy.
There you see LSU going aggressive at Abby Van Winkle, but she's got great ball control skills, passes it, and then puts it away inside out.
Going to 21, you have to win by 2. Raznik-Pope, an easy shot.
Ashlyn Raznik-Pope, hard to go over the big block, but well executed by LSU, and they will switch sides. UCLA down by 1, but switching to the better side in terms of serving.
LSU took the first set at the 4s. UCLA took the first set at the 2s, and it is neck and neck here at the 3s. Van Winkle will take a swing on 2. Raznik-Pope, way long, it sails.
Ashlyn Raznik-Pope, really nice defense. Wanted to be aggressive in transition, but that ball just moved. She went for 1 set and it blew in the wind, and she wasn't able to make good hand contact.
Added in the 5s on the right side of your screen, Olivia Ordonez and Kaylee York have set point. UCLA ahead at the 3s.
On the left side, Lindsay Sparks dig and little drop shot to go up by 1.
And a service error for UCLA at the 5s gives the opening set to LSU's Ordonez and York. LSU has now taken the first set on 2 courts. Off the hands.
Abby Van Winkle right there to overhand dig that ball, but lots of pace by Ashlyn Raznik-Pope of LSU.
Checking on the veterans. Kloth and Nuss up by just a point, but it is set point at the 1s with Kristen Nuss serving on the right side of your screen. Service error by LSU at the 3s. And tied at 20 at the 1s. Set point at the 3s, left side of your screen. Tied at 20, both pairs.
Left side of your screen, they're attacking the retreating blocker, Abby Van Winkle.
You have to win by 2. Savissimo serving at the 1s. Set point LSU. Here comes Abby Van Winkle. Set point UCLA at the 3s.
Left side of your screen, Abby Van Winkle, perfectly placed line shot, and now they have a chance to score a point, but they need to play some defense.
Taryn Kloth serving at the 1s. LSU trying to take the set. Savissimo. Net violation on LSU, so it's a point for UCLA. Van Winkle serving at the 3s. Raznik-Pope ties it at 21.
Ashlyn Raznik-Pope side out under pressure. Steinmetzger doing the walk and talk with his pair.
LSU set point again at the 1s as Taryn Kloth finishes with the kill. Kristen Nuss with service. Dinneberg. Wide, LSU taking set one at the ones, 23-21. Abby Van Winkle has UCLA with a set point at the threes.
Really nice cover play. UCLA recycles the ball, gets another chance, and Lindsay Sparks with the pretty handset to Van Winkle for the kill.
Lindsay Sparks will move over and serve. Tony Rodriguez, nobody blocking. Van Winkle gives the opening set to UCLA.
And that's the dig that UCLA pair three needed. A pull from Van Winkle and a transition kill.
This just got super interesting. UCLA has taken the first set, but only on 2 courts. It's LSU with a first set victory at the ones, at the 4s, and the 5s. We will go over to the 4s right now. It's getting close. Landsman and Moore, they have looked solid. They have looked like they're on the same page. I haven't been impressed with Sydney Moore.
I am too. She is fearless. Bomb in her serve, and they have just clicked as a team, scoring big points with their defense.
We'll step aside. It's getting close at the 4s in our elimination duel. NCAA Beach Volleyball Championship coverage continues tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. For more information on the NCAA Women's Beach Volleyball Championship, visit ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. 5 courts in action. It is getting close on a couple of these. Remember, the 2s and the 4s started first. You can see all of them streaming live on the app if there's a certain court you want to follow along with. But we're going to look in on the 4s because it's getting close for Landsman and Sydney Moore of putting a point on the board for LSU.
Sydney Moore aggressive from the service line. She's got the wind in her face. That allows her to be even more aggressive.
And this has been a scrappy duo, Landsman and Moore. Jacqueline Quaid in the block in her face, no problem.
2 big players facing off at the net. That time Quaid turns it a little sharper inside a Landsman.
Wow, set point on the service error. It gives set point, match point to LSU at the 4s. Landsman's turn.
Landsman got a little bit excited, but that ball dropped, hits the line for the UCLA point. But right now, LSU has 5 match point opportunities.
And this will be their second match point so far as they lead at 20-15. A win here puts a point on the board for LSU in the duel. Sydney Moore. Oh, out.
I love that attempt by Sydney Moore, trying to go sharp into the cross court. She made the right decision. Just did not execute it the way she wanted to.
3rd match point for LSU. Landsman's turn. Oh, Mireille was there.
Interesting, UCLA putting the pressure on the bigger of the 2 players, Jess Landsman. She's 6'2". She just needs to enforce her power and size and get up there and be aggressive.
This will be the 4th match point for LSU. Mireille goes back at Landsman. LSU put that point on board thanks to the fours.
And there you see the aggressive swing paying off for Jess Landsman, scoring a point on the board for LSU. This is getting good.
This is really big. UCLA, the top seed in this tournament. They trail in this elimination duel 1-0. Back to the twos. Oh, Devin Newberry, okay.
Dropping off the net, digging the ball, and she's so good offensively in transition. They are in control on this court.
Here comes Leah Monkhouse. Green Agnew trying to hustle. Point for Monkhouse and Newberry.
Not sure how that ball got by Claire Coppola at the net, but Kelly Green Agnew able to touch it, just couldn't lift it high enough for her partner to set.
Coppola and Green Agnew have not been able to win a match in this tournament yet. They've got a long way to go to get back in this one. And an attacking error brings up match point for UCLA.
Not sure if Kelly Green Agnew hurt something. Didn't look like she could really jump on that last attack. Kind of not walking normal, like something's bothering her.
It's long. UCLA has a point. They've evened up the duel at a point apiece.
Court number 2, UCLA's pair of Monkhouse and Newberry defeat Coppola and Green Agnew of LSU.
Green Agnew looks like she's hurt. But UCLA able to take care of business and win that point.
So that evens up the duel. We'll try to keep an eye on Kelly Green Agnew. You see Leah Monkhouse coming over to shake her hand. But that match is done. We will go over to the fives now. Ordonez and Kaylee York took the opening set 21-15, and they're up by 1. This combo, though, for UCLA, Riley Powers and Jaden Whitmarsh, they're dangerous.
They are. We saw them at the Pac-12 championships last week clinch both duels for UCLA against USC. They are gamers, but this LSU pair is pushing them.
Powers and Whitmarsh also clinched it against Cal Poly earlier today at the fives for UCLA.
You see the wind wreak havoc on that set. Jaden Whitmarsh falls down trying to attack that ball.
It's going to be tough to do anything with it when you're so off balanced. Step aside to go to the threes. Knotted at 7. We saw extra points in this one. Sparks and Van Winkle taking on Raznik Pope and Tony Rodriguez. Rodriguez on the serve. A must-win set for LSU. Abby Van Winkle. Lindsay Sparks with the smart shot.
Absolutely. Stein Metzger refers to Lindsay Sparks as the magician, and this is why. She just finds a way to put the ball into the deep corner when it's not an easy opportunity. She's on the bad side, wind at her back. You would think the advantage would be to the defense, but not when Lindsay Sparks is attacking for UCLA.
And she's had some great performances here as there's a service error from Abby Van Winkle, but Sparks was a member of that 2019 NCAA All-Tournament team when UCLA won their last title. They have won the last 2 national championships, trying to survive to make it to the semifinals for a rematch with LMU. Open sand for Sparks.
And that's all about court sense and court vision. Lindsay Sparks stays behind the ball. You see the defender run line, and Lindsay Sparks goes right away from the direction that the defense is running. It's so impressive at her age to have that kind of court vision.
Oh, just sticks her arm out. Are you kidding me?
I'll tell you, she was on fire at the Pac-12 championship. She is still in that zone, and it is fun to watch. Look at the reaction time. One arm, and then enough control to keep that ball in the square on the other side of the net.
That's got to give a lot of confidence to her partner, Abby Van Winkle. Going behind. And nobody back there to dig that up from Tony Rodriguez.
Tony Rodriguez knows she has to strike quickly if there's an opportunity, because otherwise Lindsey Sparks is touching everything.
Yeah, you've got to kill that momentum for UCLA right now. Duel is even at 1 point apiece. You need 3 points to win.
Tony Rodriguez trying to serve that ball down the middle. You can hear her talking to her partner, push back, push back.
It sails. Smart to pull up by Lindsey Sparks.
Yeah, you see the communication in the scheming of the team of Van Winkle and Sparks is working.
Sparks and Van Winkle trying to tack on another point for UCLA, battling at the threes.
To go represent U.S. in Tokyo 2021, and also Sarah Hughes, the former USC Trojan, and her partner Emily Day.
This program just continuing to add up in all different areas. We're at the fives right now, where Jonas and York took the opening set, but they're trailing Powers and Whitmarsh right now by 2.
I'll tell you, at the net, they're getting lots of good deflections and able to turn those into points earlier, at least in the first set. This LSU pair did a really good job. Nice back set, using the wind, working with the wind. Look at that pursuit ball, nice try. Good attempt to run that ball down.
Now you saw Jaden Whitmarsh with the attack. She has been served all season, and her offensive improvement has really been key for this fives pair to have success. Riley Powers.
Riley Powers is just a gamer. Really nice reaction. That ball caught the top of the net. She keeps going, and then really big time transition swing for UCLA.
Bruins trying to force a third set. Service error.
Steinmetzger encouraging that aggressive service pressure, but you don't want errors at the end of a set. You want to keep the pressure on your opponents. Jose Loyola talking to his pair, doing the walk-in talk. Jose Loyola is a Brazilian former pro who just has great energy. He's so positive, and you want him in your box.
Yeah, what a great addition to their coaching staff.
Come on.
Kayla York gets a swing off into the tape.
Break for UCLA, but Kaylee York doing a really nice job defensively, making some good reads, coming up with some points for LSU.
Set point UCLA. Powers goes at York. Or Jonas out, but it was off of the UCLA block. So second set point here for the Bruins.
Bruins have to be careful, move in their feet. The ball's going to drop on an aggressive serve because the wind is at their back. Good pass there.
Right! Come on! Yes, Bailey! Put it down now. No one! Yes! With you! Right!
Powers.
Yes, Bailey!
Oh, good layout by York.
Go! Go! No one!
Whitmarsh attacking error. This will be third set point UCLA.
Jaden Whitmarsh asserting herself, calling a timeout, trying to stop the momentum of LSU creeping back in the second set.
If UCLA wins that set, they will force a third set at the fives. This duel is tied at 1 point apiece. The twos secured it for UCLA. It was the fours securing it for LSU. We want to look in on two different courts now, the ones and the threes.
On the left side of your screen, UCLA up by 1 in the second must-win set for UCLA.
Kristen Nuss on that left side attacking and ties it at 18. An ace for Tony Rodriguez at the threes.
And this is a must-win set on the right side of your screen for LSU. UCLA won the first set. Timeout.
Yeah, timeout will be called at the threes. Oh, Taryn Cloth maybe had that block. Lexi Dinneberg thought about something else.
What a great cover of Lexi Dinneberg, of herself, able to pop it up, and Savvy Simo keeps it alive for the Bruin point.
Bringing in the fives now. It is set point for Powers and Whitmarsh, looking to force a third set. Dinneberg goes long on the serve at the ones. Right side of your screen, set point UCLA for the third time. An ace, they let it go by.
How about that? Ace down the middle by Ordonez.
And a service error at the ones for LSU. Off of the block goes Riley Powers. We're gonna have a third set at the fives. Service error, UCLA at the ones. Christine's been watching this court.
Yes, I have. And I just wanted to point out that there have been 17 ties in this set. It is only 2020. That means only 3 points have been uncontested. These teams are going back and forth and battling in this set.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a battle. These groups are so fun to watch on both sides of the net, and now UCLA is going to have set point. Dinneberg on service. Cloth. Boom.
Taryn Cloth going up aggressive, using her 6'4" frame to put an exclamation point on this side out. Look at the high contact point. A little sharper than Savvy Simo expected.
Now Taryn Cloth steps back. Goes at Simo. Kristen Nuss's turn. Match point, LSU.
Savvy Simo a little bit hesitant in her side out game. Didn't hit a crisp shot. And Kristen Nuss just scoots in there and digs it.
Nuss and Cloth, the only undefeated pair in the nation left at the one spot.
And left, right.
Cloth will take it. LSU leads the duel 2-1.
Doesn't get any better than this. The best programs in the country pushing one another. Good deflection, and then the 6'4" high contact point of Taryn Cloth of LSU, able to finish it at the ones for LSU's point.
Cloth and Nuss just improved to 36-0 on the season, but they're looking at a bigger scoreboard. The dual scoreboard. LSU leading it 2-1. They need to win on one more court to eliminate the top seed and the defending national champions. Sparks and Van Winkle have match point at the threes, and they get it on an ace!
Lindsay Sparks' serve has been incredible for UCLA, and the difference at that number 3 spot. Look at the sportsmanship, I love it.
LSU's lead was brief. The duel now tied at 2 points apiece. Everybody running over because it is going to the fives. Powers and Whitmarsh for UCLA have been in this position before. There's a big point for York.
They have been in this position before, and for LSU, they're starting this match on the good side. Kaylee York and Olivia Ordonez against Jaden Whitmarsh and Riley Powers.
Third set, we're only playing to 15 points. They will switch sides every 5 points.
When we talked to Russell Brock this week about this LSU pair 5, he said, you know what? When they're playing well, they're beautifully boring. They just execute.
Powers and Whitmarsh beat USC at the fives to secure the Pac-12 title. They are not afraid of this feeling. Neither is LSU.
Kaylee York just so smooth in her side out, moving the ball around the court. Jaden Whitmarsh, that time high contact point, beating the block, and York unable to run that ball down.
Well, it was a week ago today at the Pac-12 tournament. Riley Powers and Jaden Whitmarsh, all eyes were on them again, facing the Norse Twins of USC, and they just looked in control. Jaden Whitmarsh was so focused.
Both of them were, and they were making plays and executing with the duel on the line, and here they are again in a position to clinch the duel for UCLA.
They had that opportunity against LMU. It came down to their court. They didn't get it done, but they did get it done and clinched the duel for UCLA against Cal Poly earlier today. There's Whitmarsh.
Jaden Whitmarsh so confident under pressure.
Kaylee York, blocked by Riley Powers.
Riley Powers, such a great competitor. Just a freshman, comes up with a huge block in this third set for UCLA. This pair of LSU, they scored a point against LMU and Florida State in this NCAA tournament.
Ordonez and York. Winner on this court is moving on to the semifinals to face LMU. It all comes down to the fives.
Jaden Whitmarsh using that wind, running that back set, working with it, and able to sneak that by the block.
Everybody's switching sides quickly. Family and friends of players in attendance here, about 700 allowed to watch this, and they've seen some drama this afternoon on the sand. Ordonez is wide.
Ordonez trying to go aggressive on two. I like the idea. She missed that ball by an inch.
Whitmarsh will go at York.
Jaden Whitmarsh took off early, and Kaylee York, a senior out of Florida, saw it and took advantage of it.
Only going to 15 here in set number 3. Winner gets LMU in the semifinals. Riley Powers, the perfect shot.
Good opportunity for UCLA on that over dig. Jaden Whitmarsh sets up her partner, Riley Powers. Quick strike down the line.
Here!
York's got an open net. Powers has to chase it down. They can go to Ordonez. Lands out. UCLA benefits. Excuse me, LSU benefits.
Riley Powers working so hard on defense at the net, pulling off the net. Had a good look at it, just couldn't keep it in bounds. Russell Brock talked about Kayla York. He said she has a great volleyball mind.
This is a really consistent pair for LSU. York's been getting a lot of swings, and she's finding success.
First couple swings on both sides of the net were a little tentative, just hitting the middle of the court. But you want good hand contact, driving that ball away from the defense. This time, Kayla York hits the sharp angle.
It's winner take all at the fives right now. All eyes on these four players. They'll serve Whitmarsh. Good decision.
Really nice set and call by Riley Powers, allowing Jaden Whitmarsh to hit that ball fast into the wind away from the sprinting defender York.
What a difference a couple of years makes. Jaden Whitmarsh was supporting UCLA when they were playing here last time. Here she is trying to keep them alive in this tournament 2 years later. On the line!
There's the aggressive hand contact on the ball, and that's what keeps that ball in play, hitting the back line for UCLA.
Line nobody.
York.
Kayla York under pressure, beautiful cut shot, open net. Got a fast defender in Jaden Whitmarsh in the backcourt, but Kayla York, really nice hand contact, gets it to drop.
LSU with two seniors out there, UCLA with a couple of freshmen out there, but they're both playing outstanding volleyball. Back and forth we go.
That's the aggressive swing, good hand contact on the ball. The power of that swing by Whitmarsh scores that point.
Ordonez straight down.
That's on UCLA, testing out Ordonez. They've been keeping it on York, but it's always good to try the other player. Ordonez answers the call.
With LSU trailing, anything you want to see them do differently right now?
I like what they're doing. I mean, they need to serve tough and score a point with their defense. That's the difference. Right now, LSU is on the good side, wind in their face. They can put some service pressure on UCLA and get them out of system.
Right.
Serve was handled pretty well. And UCLA will benefit, creeping closer to that 15.
Ordonez had a little block touch on the ball, just couldn't control it after that for LSU.
You. Line nobody.
There's some aggression.
Ordonez gets a shot at the net, and she uses her size at 6'1" to put that ball away. I think both teams could pick up their serve. This is when you want to get the team a little tweak in the play, some out-of-system offense from the other team.
Ordonez goes down the middle and does get them out of system. Whitmarsh will have to send over an easy ball. Oh, what a layout from Jaden Whitmarsh. Loses the sunglasses and everything. LSU, how'd you like that?
Well, that was the service pressure I was talking about. It fastball right down the middle, communication breakdown. UCLA was able to stay in the play. but York too much in the transition swing for LSU.
And UCLA wants to take a timeout here. Drama at the fives. Only one can move on to the semifinals.
Aggressive into the wind, and it paid off.
Incredible how many times this pair of Riley Powers and Jaden Whitmarsh have been tested. They have won 2 duels for UCLA today.
Tough jump float serve into the wind, catches Kaylee York high. Call that the dancing float serve, and Jaden Whitmarsh. Riley Powers do it again for UCLA.
So impressive. UCLA does not flinch. We will see them in the semifinals tomorrow, and guess what? It is a rematch with LMU. LMU upset the #1 seed yesterday. They sent UCLA to the elimination bracket. And now the Bruins get a second chance with a spot in the championship on the line.
Yeah, it's going to be different. Backs against the wall for both teams trying to get to that championship match. Can't wait to see it.
We have seen some amazing volleyball so far. USC is already in the championship duel. Will we have a rematch of the last tournament championship?